In the previous episode for converting this Ellert from 0.95 horsepower to 80 horsepower, we removed all the original drivetrain stuff and then installed the new axle, figured out where everything needs to go, the throttle, engine, motor, I should say, batteries, etc., etc. But the stance, like how the wheels poked out from the body, since they were so much wider than the original wheels, we couldn't help but dislike what it looked like. So then we had this conversation. We talked about like moving the wheels more inward. Everything can move inside, that's not a problem, but you might also already guessed the issue is with this little tub in the background. That's easy to cut, obviously. So if we want to move the wheel inward, we need to cut the inside of the body here and also like part of the tub. And I think there will be enough strength left on this side, and I will also build a frame kind of like inside here where we can mount a battery to, so that will be fine. So from a distance the Ellert will still look sort of original.
It sounds like a great plan. I didn't realize it was so tight. But you have free hands to just cut it all. I think it's looking promising.
Kulu. Now I'm gonna drink some coffee, and when I get back into the workshop I'll start cutting up stuff. As you saw in the intro just now, we kind of decided to go overboard a little bit with this project. Mostly for aesthetical reasons, we decided that the wheels needed to be moved inwards in the tub. Like the original wheels are like 5 centimeters, like 2 inches wide or whatever. The new wheels are like 5 times as wide each. So yeah, stuff needs to be cut to make room for these bigger wheels. This means cutting the axle to make it smaller, redoing the suspension, everything. So here I started July, so this is quite recent images. We're kind of up to date now with the videos. And here I started removing all the original suspension parts. Suspension, nothing more than just 2 leaf springs that are bolted to this subframe structure. It looks very flimsy, but it's quite strong. It's got like 3mm thick steel in the places where it needs to be strong, but also it's like 40-ish years old and rusty, and it needs to go. I need to create new mounting points here. So here I removed it. It was like 8 bolts. They were quite rusty. It's kind of hard to get them out, but I drilled them out, and here I'm retapping the original mounting points. Next up was like cutting the axle to size. First measuring the width, the total width, and then cutting the axle, remounting the wheels, and now I'm test fitting them on the vehicle. I can't say car, it's a vehicle. And already you can see, without even building anything, just by narrowing the axle and everything, and this looks like way better. The wheels could have been a bit bigger size, but it's kind of hard to find that or fix that, so we just decided to went with what we have. Maybe later we can increase the size or whatever. So and then the task began of building a new subframe for the vehicle. These are the go-kart aluminum gauges, so to speak, that hold the actual bearing. So this is just the bearing holder, so to speak. And I made some adapters to go from the aluminum part to the steel support arms. Everything is 3 double welded, so and it's 5 mil thick steel plates, which is probably way overkill. But well, I'm not an engineer. I'm just over-engineer everything just to make sure that nothing breaks. Ellert's on the lift here. I had to use some thick bars, steel bars, since the Ellert is so small it can't be carried like a regular car. Then I decided to add this crossbar. I already decided to remove that before I'm even editing this video. This is to make the axle more stiff and not flex as much as it does. So it's kind of like a sway bar, so to speak. And after that, when the wheels are in position, it's time to start building further building the subframe. So we have a place to mount the coilovers to. The Ellert's going to get coilovers. So these bars run over from the front of the engine bay to a motor bay. I can't say engine, apparently. Been corrected after the previous video. Anyway, so run from the front to the back of this motor bay, and is a mounting point for the coilovers, and also a mounting point in the future for wheelie bar, and for the battery pack, and for probably a lot of other stuff. These are the main hoops, which will be extended, or there will be stuff added in the future for more strength and stability. So what you see now is far from the final product. But here I'm just laying out the groundwork for a proper frame that's going to carry everything and hopefully deal with all the loads of the 80 horsepower Stark Varg engine. These coilovers are from a mini bike, a Harley Davidson mini bike, if I understood correctly. They are something that Henrik had on the shelf and available for this project. So again, tacking everything in place, not fully welding it because I need to test and do things before I can final weld everything. And I'm happy that I did because, well, after these shots you see me lower the vehicle down on its feet. If you look closely, you can already see that it's leaning a lot more to the right. So here you see the left wheel touching and the right side is still going lower and lower and lower. So, well, it's not super clear in this picture, but it's crooked, not good. Never means something good. So out with the angle grinder, realign, give the car just a little bit more ride height. Yeah, and that's already a much better ride height.
Links en rechts in ieder geval gelijk.
Left and right's now the same. Perfect.
Beep boop beep boop boop.
Yes. Okay, this is where we are going to end this video. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of what I did and what I'm going to do in the next video. So in this video you saw me build this frame, suspension parts and the actual suspension itself, which is like the very bare minimum of what I need to build here. What I'm going to do next, most likely, plans change from day to day, but like the most likely next step is to make another mounting point like this here on the lower part of the vehicle, and then have an extra brace like this run from like underneath the axle to this point, and then run two beams up to the, so it kind of like all is boxed in. That's important for a few reasons. One is to keep the rigidity in the body that I cut away with cutting these big, very big holes, because this, what you see here, this like little part of the wheel arch, so to speak, is the only thing that's left from the original thing that makes this rigid. And the reason this needs to be rigid, because there's only a lock for the canopy there, the reason this needs to be rigid is A, there's going to be a battery mounted, most likely here, like this. Where is it? That's going to be mounted like this-ish, most likely, somewhere here, as low as possible, obviously. Mostly for aesthetic reasons, but also for performance reasons. But maybe the most, let me put this away for a second, maybe even more important than the battery mounting position is the rigidity we need to have a wheelie bar. We think, it's purely based on guesstimations, we think that the thing will do a wheelie, or maybe even wheelies. You never know. Maybe we do one wheelie and something breaks. Nobody knows. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do next. Build the bottom part of the subframe, mounting positions for the battery, mounting for the engine. This is the bracket for the engine that holds the engine. No, motor, I should say. Sorry, again. That's going to mount the motor somewhere like here. I am going to stiffen up this suspension arms and most likely, slash probably, slash very likely, replace the seat with something more proper, because this is, and these mounting, the way this is mounted, I think it's genius. Because it kind of wedges this so you can move the seat, the back of the seat cushion, you can move it forward and then just wedge it down, and then it kind of locks itself in place, which is nice if you have 0.95 horsepower and you're going like 30 kilometers an hour, like 15 miles an hour max. This is going to go a little bit faster, so it might be wise to upgrade the seat too. Then there is this thing, it's a pressed aluminum roll hoop. I think I'm going to get rid of this altogether, but I'm going to keep this because it's for aesthetical reasons, again, because it's a very prominent visual part on an Ellert. So I'm probably going to keep this, but add an actual roll hoop made from actual roll cage material in or behind or whatever attached to this. So this kind of can float, so it still keeps the aesthetics of the original, but it will be an actual roll hoop instead of just this thing. So make sure to like and subscribe to not miss out on the next episodes where I'm going to continue building this awesome thing. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Jesus, bye. Coffee time. Yeah. I like some coffee. Coffee and hammock time. Yes. Goodbye.